Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to go over my deck profile that I would have played at the NAWCQ if my flights didn't get canceled there. I would have played Fiendsmith Yubel, and I picked this deck because I was more familiar with Yubel than Snake Eyes in terms of knowing how to play it. But I did want to play the Fiendsmith cards, and this was the best option for me. So I want to show you the list that I have put together and talk through some of the logic of the card choices, the ratios, and all that kind of thing. Go through a little bit of my prep and how I came to this particular list that I wanted to play at Nationals. The main deck is going to be 45 cards, and I'll start by saying that I think going over 40 in Yubel is acceptable because there are a lot of cards you don't want to draw. So I would rather dilute my bricks a little bit by adding similar quality starters and hand traps than forcing myself down to 40 cards, not drawing enough hand traps per hand on average, and increasing the chances that I draw the bricks that I don't want to draw. And those bricks are going to be like Yubel and Terror Incarnate and Chaos Summoning Beast, the Unchained Trap card. Like, I don't want to draw those cards, so I would rather have a higher chance that I draw a hand of only starters and hand traps than being able to mix those bricks in. We'll start with the Yubel package. On one Terror Incarnate, one regular Yubel, 2 Spirit of Yubel. I think this is fairly standard nowadays. Really no need to play 3 Spirit of Yubel. Your entire deck is revolved around summoning out a Spirit of Yubel. So you want to get it from your deck or from your graveyard. You never want to have this in your hand, really. If I could only play one, I would, but then if you draw it, sometimes it's hard to actually summon it out because you might draw your Samsara de Lotus alongside it, and this will want to summon it from the deck. 3 Samsara, it's your best 1-card starter, even though it is very susceptible to a hand trap though. So yeah, that makes it kind of like okay, because it's weak to hand traps, but you kind of need to play it to get into your engine. Next piece of Yubel engine that I'm playing is 3 copies of Gruesome Grave. Like, I've seen a lot of YouTubers and a lot of Yubel players cut this down to 2 or 1, and I don't really understand it personally. Like, I think this card is the best card in the engine. Like, not only does it help you play through a hand trap, it also gives you an extension on top of that once it goes to grave. So I'm totally fine playing 3 of this. Like, I want to see this in every opening hand just because I know, hey, I can play through at least 1 hand trap. All right, so I think this card is incredible, and I'm never gonna play fewer than 3. I don't know why I would until I hear some better reasoning for it. And then we're on 3 Nightmare Throne, of course, searches every piece of this engine, so what's not to like, and then 1 Terraforming to search that Nightmare Throne, and then 1 Nightmare Pain. Okay, so I really don't like Nightmare Pain as a card. I mean, it's a vital part of your engine, but because your entire deck tries to summon out Spirit of Yubel, like, that means your entire deck is going to get to Nightmare Pain anyway. So why would I want to play more than 1? I just want to search this card. And I know it's very good and a very important piece of the engine, but think of it like in Snake Eyes, Original Sinful Spoils. Like, that card accesses their entire deck, right? But it's searchable by so many cards that there's no reason to play more than 1. And it's recyclable, just like Nightmare Pain is with opening the Spirit Gates, right? So that's how I view Nightmare Pain. It's just like Original Sinful Spoils. It's very good. It's a vital piece of the engine, but it's so accessible that I don't want to open it. Okay, so that's why I'm on 1 of those. Moving on to the Dark Beckoning Beast package. I decided to play 2 Beckoning, 1 Chaos Summoning Beast, and 3 Opening. Basically, you play the Chaos Summoning Beast so that Opening is a 1-card starter, because if you have only Opening, it will search your Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast will summon, and then you can only search 1 of these cards. So you need to have another monster to summon with Dark Beckoning, so that's why you play the Chaos Summoning Beast. And then, of course, Dark Beckoning itself is a 1-card starter, because if you open Dark Beckoning, you search Gates, you can search another one. So that's still 2 monsters. On to the Fiendsmith cards. 3 Engraver, 1 Tracked, 1 Lurie. Not really any reason to play a different ratio. Like, you could play more Tracked. More Engraver is better because it allows you to either search Tracked, or it allows itself to be material and shuffle itself back to summon out an Engraver. So you need more light. You'd rather have more Light Fiends than more Fiendsmith Tracked. And then we have the Unchained package. We have 1 Shavara, 1 Abominable Chamber. Chamber, in my opinion, is much better than Escape, like, because this one allows you to play through a Dark Ruler better, because you want to get your Unchained Soul Rage to the graveyard and then summon it back after, and that's better than having Escape, which is a pop, and like if someone Dark Rulers you, more likely that a Rage into an SP, into an SP Banish, into a double SP Banish is going to help you play through that Dark Ruler than just one pop with Escape. Onto the hand trap lineup now. I'm on 17 hand traps out of 45, so that gives you, I think, a 64% chance of opening 2 hand traps in your hand, which is essentially vital if you want to have any chance at winning going second. So the best hand traps for this format, in my opinion, are going to be 3 Imperm, 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Ghost Ogre, and 2 Bestials. That's Wondrous, 1 Magnemite. So these are the only hand traps worth playing, in my opinion, especially in the Yubel deck. Mourner fell off a lot from last format. Like, last format, you could just assume Mourner is going to be in your deck, but right now, I don't think so. Like, the best last format, because if your opponent opened like Ash plus Diabellestar, like Black Witch, and you had double effect negation hand traps, they pretty much had to go SP pass, right? But now, like if they have Ash and Black Witch, where Mourner would stop the Black Witch, right? Now if you have Imperm on Ash, Mourner on the Black Witch, they just go into Fiendsmith combo. So like the use of Mourner has really deteriorated over the new format because of the Fiendsmith cards, and that's why I really don't think it's worth playing. I do like Ogre a lot because it's the best. It's one of the better cards to pair with another hand trap, first of all. Second, it's really good as your 6th card if you're trying to break a board, because you can out an Appaloosa with this. You can out Fiendsmith Desiree with this, the fusion, because if they go Desiree to negate because they have the a linked equipped card, you can Ghost Ogre the Desiree. It will get destroyed. The equipped card will fall off and it will lose its negate. So it works kind of like ogring Appaloosa. So that's why this is really good. It's also just fantastic into Yubel. Like if you ogre the Nightmare Pain, it's really nice. It has applications into Tenpai. It has applications into Runic Stun, which I think are the next 2 best decks for the NAWCQ. So that's why I preferred Ogre over Mourner. I just think it was more versatile and a little bit better even. Bestials are excellent, of course, because of Fiendsmith running amok and just having the Magnemite, in the end phase, searching the Jerusalem, just threatening the Appaloosa that the opponent has on the board, like right off the bat, is going to be really nice. And not only is it an interruption, but it's a body. And of course, in this format, 2 bodies equals Fiendsmith combo. So just having an interruption with a body on top of it is going to be really nice. We have 17 hand traps. We also have 17 starters in the main. So the percentage chance of opening 1 starter is like 93%. And the percentage chance of opening 2 hand traps is like 64%. So that was like an optimal ratio for me when I was looking to deck build here. Onto the extra deck now. For the Fiendsmith half, we have 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, 1 Moon of the Closed Heaven, 1 Necroquip Princess, 1 Aerial Eater, and 1 Desiree. This is the lineup I went with. I opted not to play the Lacrima because they're Lacrima typically goes into Beatrice, but for Yubel, you can just go directly into Aerial Eater instead. So I was able to save essentially 1 extra deck spot by playing the Aerial Eater, which is the TCG exclusive card out of Infinite Forbidden. So yeah, I didn't think the burn damage, like I wanted to play Lacrima honestly because it was a time card, but I really was crunched for space in this extra deck. So anywhere I could be more efficient, cutting 2 cards for 1 to do the same thing was good for me. So I went for the Aerial Eater play. Necroquip Princess is fantastic, especially in this deck. Just turning 2 bodies into kind of full combo is really nice. I mean, just turning 1 Engraver into a full combo is really nice, so Necroquip is good. And then I wanted to end on Desiree as much as possible. Generally, the Light Fiend cards, you only need to play 1 of each because you can shuffle them back with Fiendsmith super easy. So that's really good. And yeah, I think this is kind of a relatively standard lineup for Yubel Fiendsmith extra deck stuff. Onto the generic links, we have Yama, we have a Rage, SP. I decided to play Unchained Abomination because I wanted a game ender a little bit, and it was between this and Access Code. But I decided not to play Access Code, first of all, because I don't play any Link 3s, so it's only ever 4,400 or 4,300. So I would still need more bodies to break the board. And then I also only play Dark Links, really, that are going to be in the graveyard, because these will all be shuffled back by Fiendsmith. So Access Code would be 1 pop. So I wanted, instead of risking not ending the game and just sitting on an Access Code, I wanted to end on Abomination, clear the board of with multiple pops, and then hopefully just win through the follow-up. Yeah, so that's why I'm on Abomination. And then the rest of the cards, 1 Caesar. I think Caesar's fantastic. Oh, and I decided to play Caesar over Muckraker and Nightmare Griffin because Muckraker Griffin, I was only really trying to do summon against Tenpai, and I think Caesar is just as good, and it's another situation where I could take 2 cards and replace them with 1. Muckraker, it didn't really come up that much. I think with just the amount of extenders we have and the ways you can summon stuff out of the grave, I didn't really feel like I wanted a Muckraker without playing the Griffin line anyway. So 1 Varudross, this card is a little bit cuttable, it only really goes off if you go full combo. But then you think about it, you only go full combo if your opponent's on board breakers, right? Because they don't have hand traps for you. And if your opponent's on board breakers, you want to end on double Omni Negate. So that's why Varudross stays in, because you really want to set up Varudross plus Desiree into a board breaker deck to have 2 Omnis. And the last 2 cards are 2 Phantom. I would love to play 3. I just don't know what to cut. The most cuttable cards are going to be Varudross, Desiree, and Abomination. So if you don't want to play one of these, you can play a 3rd Phantom. But I wanted the flexibility to play these guys. And then onto the side deck. Starting off with 2 copies of Dino Wrestler Pankratops. I think this card is sleeper good in the side right now. If you think about a Snake Eyes end board, they have Apollo, they have Flamberge with IP in the Spell Trap zone, they have Desiree, right? And then Princess Engrave. This card threatens a lot right off the bat. If you summon this, first of all, and you call Battle Phase, they have to do something about it, or else you're going to kill their Appaloosa. Okay, and then, so if they do something about it, chain IP, or chain Flamberge to summon IP, that's fine. Okay, and then they go IP into SP target this guy, and then you can just trigger this to target Appaloosa or something, and they're forced to negate. Whatever you target, they're going to negate it anyway, so you can just whatever. But honestly, that will burn their IP SP and 1 Appaloosa negate, and you'll still have your battle phase. So that's really good. Also, this card out skill drain, which is really good. So yeah, I think it's just an all-around sleeper card for going 2nd right now. Next card is Archfiend Eccentric. This is a Light Fiend, searchable by Fiendsmith Tract. That's basically an MST. So it's a searchable out to Floodgates, or out to a problem card, or if you know your opponent's just sitting on a trap card that's really good because they searched it, you can just go Eccentric, clear the trap card, and then start playing. So that's why we're playing Eccentric right now. And then 3 copies of Droll in the side. This card is pretty bad against Snake Eye, but it's pretty good against Yubel. So I wanted to have it in the side deck. Also, I'm playing Crossout Designators in the side deck for when I go first. So when I'm going first, I side in these 4 cards just to protect myself from Droll. But yeah. And then 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone for more of the back row hate, because just for Runic Stun, for Labyrinth, some rogue stuff. Or if I'm going first into Tenpai, I'll side this in because I'd rather have a Cosmic than a Veiler, because if they have Field Spell, it's over with Veiler. So yeah, I'd rather have Cosmic there. And then for, yeah, I said Runic Stun, Lab, whatever. Going into a Yubel matchup, if I go first, this could come in, but probably not. For the remaining 4 cards, these are outgoing first cards as well. 3D Barrier. I was a little bit more worried about Tenpai than my testing partners were, so I opted to play this card. Also, it like wins all the rogue matchups like Ritual Beast, like Branded, like what else? Gimmick Puppet. If I go first, like yeah, I don't know. I think it's just clutch. And then the last card is going to be a rivalry. So yeah, this is a side. A lot of changes made to this side deck in the last like 4 days. So this is what I ended on, and I'm honestly happy with it. So yeah. And then that wraps it up for the deck, I guess. Let me know if you have questions or comments on the ratios in the comments section below. Leave a like, sub to the channel. If you enjoy this and you want some more Yubel content, I'll put out some Yubel Fiendsmith combo video coming soon, so make sure you sub so you don't miss that. And with that, we'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see you soon.